Good morning. This is the Senior Associate for 4-H Youth Livestock Programs, Wyatt Banks, with a little quick informational video regarding the Skillathon Scantron that we're going to be using at the Kentucky State 4-H Livestock Skillathon contest. We're just going to keep things simple. I'm going to try to make sure that this is as painless as possible for all of our contestants as well as our volunteers and agents so that everybody's on the same page and everybody understands what to fill out, what not to fill out, so that on contest day this can run smoothly and efficiently. If there's a possibility that you can print this off and show your kids, be more than happy to do so. But my goal is to make this an awesome experience to where kids can have fun without the worry of messing up on a silly little Scantron. So, without further ado, anything in the green, anything circled in green, so team name and additional info up here in the upper right hand corner, that's already going to be pre-filled. So is their team number, which I have graciously circled again in green and pointed to in green. So these two green things will be pre-filled the day of the contest when you get your team packet. The things that they will need to fill out. They'll need to fill out their last name first and their first name second here. And there will be people there to help them get their name bubbled in if they forget to do so when you get it to them. But this is a simple, easy thing that we just need to make sure that we get right for tabulation purposes. From there, there's only a handful of other things on this first page that we need to worry about, and we'll get there here directly. So, as far as their contestant number, though, and their age division, they don't need to worry about either of those particular boxes on their Scantron. They do not need to fill those out. I repeat, they do not need to fill those out. As far as placing classes go, they will only need to fill out placing classes for class 1 and 2. And over here in this purple box, we see that class 1 will be wool and class 2 will be hay. So, when we get down to questions, the same thing will apply. For these 5 questions on class 1 will be wool, class 2 will correspond to hay. For all things placings and questions, class 1 will be wool, class 2 will be hay. It's very important that you don't get those lines crossed. There'll be signs that are labeling the classes to make sure that the kids are okay, and if there's any questions, they need to ask their group leaders, and if the group leaders don't know, ask the contest staff, but there will be signs hopefully directing traffic in a pain-free environment. Besides that, we don't need to worry about any of these other placing classes. 3 through 6, you will not need to tell your kids to put in anything for these bubbles in 3, 4, 5, or 6 for the placings classes. Same goes for questions. Nothing in the boxes for class 3 and 4, nor for boxes class 5 and 6. Those things do not need to be filled out. We're only worried about classes 1 and 2, period. As far as the exam goes, students in the senior division, contestants in the senior division, will be filled out a exam over general livestock knowledge that is 30 full questions. This is very important information that you're following me from here, though, if you are in the junior division. If you have a junior team, they are only going to be filling out questions 1 through 20. They do not need to fill out 1 through 30 or any less than 1 through 20. So seniors will answer all 30 bubbles. Juniors will answer only 20 bubbles. So, just so we're on the same page, seniors will be answering 30 questions. Juniors will be answering 20 questions. As far as quality assurance is concerned, everybody is only doing 10 questions. Whether you are a junior or a senior, your quality assurance area here should only be filled in to the 10th bubble. Juniors are answering 10 questions. Seniors are answering 10 questions. Now, they do have different scenarios, and we'll elaborate more on that on the contest day, but juniors do 10 questions, seniors do 10 questions. Don't worry about 11 through 20. Do not worry about 21 through 30. As far as the practical judges thing down here in the bottom corner, the practicum, we're not worried about anything here either. That would be for judges anyway. Anything with a big red X, we're not worried about. Keep Coles, there won't be anything to worry about there. And keep Coles, there won't be anything to worry about there with number 2 either. So, just to debrief this particular page, I want us to be completely clear. Team number, team name, and additional information, those boxes will already be filled in for your youth and contestants, so they have nothing to worry about. They need to fill in their last name first and their first name second, classes 1 and 2, questions classes 1 and 2. Those will correspond to class 1 wool, class 2 hay. The exam will be 30 questions for seniors, so all 30 bubbles. And the junior exam will be, excuse me, 20 questions, so all 20 bubbles here. Quality assurance. This will only be consisting of 10 questions for both junior and senior divisions. We do not worry about 11 through 20, nor 21 through 30. I hope this is as crystal clear as possible. So that's the first page. As we go to the second page, so as promised, we're going to do the back side of the Scantron for the State Skillathon contest that your kids will be using. Please pay attention to the designated areas that we have for bubbling here on the back side of your youth Scantron for the State Skillathon contest. Equipment identification, breed identification, breed description, feed identification, and feed usage. And then at the bottom here, we have meat identification. So right off the bat, I'm just going to go ahead and tell you that we don't need to worry about feed identification nor feed usage. We do not need to worry about either of those bubbling areas for either the junior or the senior division of the State Skillathon contest. Again, feed identification and feed usage does not need to be bubbled in during the State Skillathon contest for any reason. Please tell this to your kids. Equipment identification, breed description, and retail meat or meat identification down here at the bottom will all need to be bubbled in, but please pay attention because it's different for juniors and seniors. For equipment identification, the junior division is only going to be bubbling in boxes 1 through 10. For the senior equipment ID portion of the contest, they will need to bubble in boxes 1 through 10 and 11 through 20. So juniors are doing 10 equipment IDs. Seniors are doing 20 equipment IDs. Again, juniors are doing 1 through 10. Seniors will do 1 through 10 and 11 through 20 in the equipment identification portion of the contest. Please, if you have seniors, remind them they're doing 20. If you have juniors, remind them they're doing 10. This will be a great thing to go over at practice this week before you go into the contest. Breed identification. Again, juniors are only going to need to worry about this particular area, the breed identification portion. They are going to be bubbling in the breed identification for pictures for 1 through 10. They'll get a picture and they will see the breed name in the word bank and they will bubble it in. Again, 1 through 10 is all the juniors need to worry about. The seniors, however, need to worry about both the breed identification portion and the breed description. So over here, they'll need to bubble in both the breed. Over here, they'll need to bubble in the breed description. This all needs to be on the same row. Corresponding breed identification will be bubbled in over here for row 1, and breed description for that same breed that we just would have bubbled in over here in the breed identification portion needs to be bubbled in over here in the breed description. So let's go through an example. I walk up to the contest station. I see that number 1 is Angus. Okay, in the word bank, Angus is A, so I'm going to bubble in A. Cool, we're good to go there. I go over to the breed description. which will be in a separate box on the sheet that will be at the station for them to work off of. And the description is description D. Okay, so I bubble that in. I'm good to go there. So on line 1 in the breed description, Angus is A in the breed identification, and Angus is D in the breed description. I'm only bubbling in one bubble per line in the breed identification portion and in the breed description portion. Please do not double bubble. It will be a 0. But again, Angus, number 1, A, description D. The description should correspond to the breed that you bubbled in over here in the identification portion. So, juniors are only doing, again, the breed identification portion, 1 through 10. Seniors are doing both breed identification and their corresponding breed description. I've already talked about feed identification and feed usage. One more time, we're not utilizing these 2 boxes. The meat identification and retail cuts portion. This has been brought to my knowledge as something that has been kind of difficult in the past for some people, and I just want to make it as simple as we possibly can. So, for both divisions, they're only going to have 10 cuts. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. We've got the ID will be labeled on the picture as 1 through 10. 10 cuts. Species, BPL. It's pretty self-explanatory, but it's beef for B, P for pork, and L for lamb. Primal, for those of us without a meats background, primal is also synonymous with wholesale. If you don't know what that means, think about it as a big region of the animal. So, this is the round and chuck on a beef carcass. This is the leg on a sheep carcass. This is the, blade and belly on a pork carcass. So, just things to simplify things. Primal is synonymous with wholesale. It's big picture. Then within this primal wholesale region, we have retail cuts. So this is the one right here that has been relayed to me where we often double bubble in a contest or we get confused. In retail first digit, you are only going to bubble one bubble in this area for number 1. You're only going to bubble one bubble in here for this retail second digit for number 1 and do the same for 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So, retail first digit, let's say that it's 12. I'm only bubbling in 1 for the first digit on the list. So on your sheet that you're going to have, that these kids are going to have for the contest, let's say that they need to bubble in number 12. They're not bubbling in 1 and 2 in box number 1 here for the retail first digit. They're going to bubble in a 1 in the first digit. They're going to bubble in a 2 for the second digit. There should only be one bubble bubbled in each of these boxes. In any of the boxes in the contest, there should only be one bubbled. So let's walk through an example like we did in the breeds. So let's say I have a pork carcass. So I bubbled in P. Cool. This is a pork cut. I know it's a pork cut. Primal. Let's say that it is in the ham region, and the ham region is A. Cool. All right. So right now I have a pork carcass, and I know that the primal region or wholesale region is A. So pork A, it's the ham region. Now it's a center slice. All right, I go to the retail cut list on my sheet, and I see, oh, okay, the ham center slice is 12. I'm bubbling in 1 in the first digit box. I'm bubbling in 2 in the second digit box. So, just to recap, I have a pork carcass. I know it's a pork cut. It is P. I bubbled it in. I have also bubbled in primal. I have bubbled in A because I know it's a ham. And that's what it's on the list. It's coming from the ham region. So I have bubbled in A. And then in the retail cut list, it's 12. The center slice is 12. So I have a pork, ham, center slice 1 and 2 because it is 12 on the list. Bubble in 1, bubble in 2. If you do all of this in the contest, we will not have any discrepancies as far as bubbling goes. It will be a painless, seamless, awesome, incredible youth experience for your kids. We've got a ton of youth participation in both the junior and senior division. There will be group leaders that hopefully they've watched this video. If not, they can always ask some of the contest staff. Hopefully it doesn't get to that point because the contest staff will be running around and trying to attain to other business, but that's why we're there to help. And then hopefully with all this, we will prevent any double bubbling and any zeros costing a kid a really good day at the contest. And also just the satisfaction of making it through their contest, their first big state contest possibly for some of them without any errors whatsoever. I hope this has been a very positive, informational video. If you're an agent, please, if you're an agent coach, please watch this. If you are an agent that does not coach your state Skillathon team, please, I beg you, pass this on to your volunteers so that they can print this off and show this to their kids at practice. I think this would be an awesome idea to walk through this as a team. There will be a little bit of discussion about this the day of the contest, but the reason of this video is so that you can relay this to your kids so that they are not stressed out the day of the contest. You can relay this to them in a way that is calm, cool, and collected before they get to the contest so that they're not stressed out trying to figure out what I do on a Scantron. If you have any questions about the Scantron, please feel free to print off this sheet and utilize it at practice. Reach out to me with any questions before next Friday or Saturday. And I really am excited. We've got an awesome contest planned. We look forward to seeing you there. Please feel free to reach out to me once again. I thank you all for your support and your registration for the contest, and I cannot wait to see you next Saturday in Bowling Green. Have a great, safe, and blessed rest of your week, and we will see you at the State Skillathon contest.